Today I want to talk about why the hard things are great. Hang around and I'll share what I mean. So what does it mean when I say hard things are great? Well, I'll give you a bit of a background of what was happening. Saturday night, been a long hot week. I'd had a bit of a gut buster. And my wife came up to me. She said, "Hey, let's get up first thing in the morning and we'll go for a bike ride. I want to get up and go before breakfast." And she told me what track she wanted to go. And I'm like, aha. Now we've ridden this track before, but honestly, it's like riding Mount Everest. Well, it is to me anyway. And it's what we call a steady gradient, and it just goes on and on and on, seemingly to the horizon. And I said yes to it because I don't mind bike riding, and I love her. I wanted her to enjoy it. You see, Tanya is let's get up on the weekend, get stuff done early, and make the most of the day. And I'm like, let's get up late, we'll have coffee in bed, we'll have another coffee, and then we'll get up, we'll have breakfast and just chill. So as I walked away, I'm doing a few other things. It's about 9 or 10 at night, and this thing's going around in my head. And all of a sudden I'm going, man, my leg's probably gonna hurt because I copped an injury there, about 10 years ago. Still haven't had an operation. Man, those seats are uncomfortable. My butt's gonna hurt. It's in Melbourne. It's been in the mid 30 to high 30s, like 80-90% humidity. I'm going, it's gonna be a hot day. And so all of a sudden my mind's going through all these reasons not to do it. And I was justifying, and what was happening was I was just creating anxiety where I shouldn't have. And then I realised that my head and my heart were in conflict. You see, while I was using real reasons to justify not doing it, maybe doing it later on, my heart was saying, you need to do this and do it now. And I had these words just come to me, and it said, Pete, you need to do the hard things first. You see, as I examine my life, the greatest failures I've ever had, it's not because I'm not smart. It's not because I'm not a hard worker. I'm an extremely hard worker. I'm really diligent. What I have done is the things I should do, but I don't particularly like doing, I keep putting them off. In other words, I do the easy things first. Got to do the book work. Now, my wife's an accountant, so I can't get away with that, but got to do the book work. I have to call clients and follow up. I have to even follow up invoicing, insurance things, exercise, correct eating, all of that sort of stuff. I sort of put it on the back burner because, hey, I just want to chill, and I deserve to chill. And so as I look at my life, I have a lot of unfilled expectations. I have succeeded a lot less because I created habits of avoidance. You see, habits can go one way or the other. And so what I needed to do was actually change how I looked at the hard things. And so what I'm sharing with you is that every time there's something hard you don't want to do, that is productive and necessary, you just say, hey, hardship, that's great, I want to do it. So like exercise, get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, that's great. Book work, that's great. Ring a client, okay, that's great. Cook the right foods and prepare food for the next day, that's great. Book writing, because I'm writing a book at the moment, that's great, because that requires a discipline. Making the bed when I get up, paying taxes, any of those things that don't come naturally or we don't enjoy, I now say, that's great. You see, it's about changing my paradigm and how I see things. And so when I came to understand that this was the case, something shifted inside of me. So instead of having a mental battle and justifying why I shouldn't be doing it or doing it another day, it's just like I accept it. It has to happen. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with a good attitude. It's going to be great. And here's the payoff. There are things over the years in many areas that I haven't been good at one time, and we're all like that way, or I've tried to avoid it. I kept doing it and it was hard, but then what happened, it wasn't hard anymore. It actually got really easy, and in fact I mastered it. So just imagine a point in time where you don't have to say these things. That's great, because you've created new, better habits. In his highly acclaimed book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, he says these few things about habits. He says, it doesn't matter how successful or unsuccessful you are right now. What matters is whether your habits are putting you on the right path towards success. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than your current results. And I guess the key thing is that we often measure success on where we are today. But those things happen bit by bit, which is why it's important we learn to say the hard things are great. He says, time magnifies the margin between success and failure. So here's the key thing for you, is that if you're challenged in a certain area, learn to say to yourself, hey, that's great, we can do this. If we actually have a look at all the people we admire in society, you know, they could be actors, they could be sports people, they could be artists, book writers, any one of things that we look at and go, hey, they're really good. They learned to master the art of hard first, and then over time, they got the benefits. So hopefully, as we move through 2022, is that you learn to say everything that you're challenged with, hey, that's great, let's get on with it, and let the results come with time. I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button, and we'll look forward to seeing you around next time.